Hello, this is Laura Gathers with Love Heart of Marriage Coaching, bringing you wisdom for wives in 5. This is where we take 5 minutes or less and we dig into the Word of God, searching for nuggets that we can apply to our lives as wives. For the month of January, we have been dissecting the life of Abigail. Abigail can be found in 1 Samuel chapter 25. I want to mention to you briefly a little bit about her life. When Abigail was first mentioned, she was introduced as a woman with intelligence and beauty. She has beauty and brains, to simplify it. Abigail was the wife of a man named Nabal, who was known as a very foolish man. Abigail found out that her husband Nabal had denied the request of David to send food and drink to his men. Now, David and his men had protected Nabal's flock, all that he had. And when they asked for this food and drink, Nabal denied it. Abigail quickly sprang into action by loading a donkey with everything that David had requested and taking it to him. She asked David to allow her husband's foolish act to be upon her. She apologized for not being there when her husband received the request. She then asked David to pretty much not kill her husband, and David honored her request. Abigail went home only to find out that her husband was throwing a big gathering, a party, and when she found him, he was drunk. He was not aware of what she had done, and she waited until the next morning when he was of sober mind to even tell him all that had occurred that day. Later on, her husband dies. David finds out and he marries her. Now, we discussed in the previous weeks how Abigail was a great covering for her husband, how she risked her life to protect him. We spoke about how she was so wise and how she quickly sprang into action. We spoke about how she waited until the proper time to communicate information to her husband. And I hope we all have been working on that, making sure that we are picking the right time to discuss the right things with our spouses. And lastly, I want to talk about how Abigail respected her husband. To me, Abigail had multiple opportunities to express her disgust in his decisions, her disgust in him getting drunk and not even being aware of the danger that he had put his family in. But yet she chose to respect him through it all. Never once did Abigail call him out of his name. Never once did Abigail use words to demoralize him. She waited patiently and lovingly to express her concern to him until the morning when he could actually think about his actions. In Ephesians 5:33, it tells us as wives that we are to respect our husbands. And that is the common theme that I found throughout this entire chapter as we dissected the life of Abigail. So this week, ladies, I want to challenge us all to make sure that we are respecting our husbands. Even through our disappointments, even through our disagreements, that we not take on a mindset that we think that it is ever okay to disrespect our husbands. I want us all to take on the character of Abigail and choose no matter what to honor and respect the head of our households, to honor and respect the man that God has blessed us with, to use our words to uplift and motivate them. And even when they do make foolish decisions, because we all are going to make foolish decisions, that we take that time to cover them and to speak words of encouragement over their lives. Thank you all for joining me this month as we have studied the life of Abigail. I pray that it has blessed you as much as it has blessed me. I pray that it has challenged you as much as it has challenged me. I ask that you would continue to share this information with other wives. If you would like to be a part of Wisdom for Wives and you are not in our private Facebook group, inbox me, Laura Gathers. Thank you all once again for joining me for Wisdom for Wives in 5. Be blessed.